Tonight was our last night in the barn, celebrated with a fire. The farm where the barn stood had been for sale the entire time we were here, and that sale was now pushing through. So before I could start the complete teardown of the van, we had to relocate to another unit. So we packed up, loaded everything into the vans and trailer, and made our way over the farm because the new unit was really not that far away. Once in and settled to the new unit, the strip down of the van will begin pretty much straight away. With delay after delay pushing this transplant back, the van was really now starting to show signs of imminent failure. Right there. This is the new site of where we're going to be tearing poor Amber apart. So yeah, the barn, as amazing as it was, Leslie, the owner, her house was, and the farm was for sale the entire time we were there, but it was a little bit uncertain. There was all sorts of problems as how sales go. But in the end, the sales started to get pushed forward and go through, so the barn was no longer hers to rent to us. So we've moved again, and now we're in a proper unit, complete with some very tasty vintage vehicles, which I'll show you around at some point. And as a bonus onto the barn, it's completely sealed off. It's got a big door, it's all walled. The barn would have probably been not the nicest of place to see through the winter and do this. So this should be us now, basically through the winter and up until hopefully we return to Portugal. With fresh engine, manual gearbox, steering and cooling and braking and all of the general things a vehicle should do that Amber isn't, working again. And yeah, as nervous as I am, the donor vehicle has now been stripped and is gone. Everything in kit form is in the trailer. There is no more excuses. It's here. Just got to get into it. So first things first, I've got to drain all the fluids out of the radiator. I'm not going to do that in here because it's a lovely polished concrete floor. So I'm going to mooch this on outside, drain the radiator of all of its coolant, and basically just start to pull the whole front end off and away, because the engine's got to come out pretty early in order to get to all the things I want to do, like steering rack. The electrical loom comes through here, past the engine, underneath and up into the seat plinths, which is a wonderful design. So to get all that out. Once the engine's out and out of the way, things will start to get a bit easier for me. And then I'll move on to the interior, start ripping all the dash out and go for the loom swap. The other night I spent about 2 hours writing up an itemised list of things I need to do in what order, just so I don't miss anything or balls anything up. And there's still a chance I'm going to balls it up, I'm not going to lie to you. It's me. I've got my emotional support dog here for when I have the casual breakdown. Oh, it's got to be a big job for us. Yes. You've just drooled on. And throughout the stages of this, what would you even call it, restoration, I'm going to have various friends and people come and give me a hand, because there's going to be various points of this where I'm going to be in a complete meltdown. What's going on in here?
Come on, I'll put you to death. I'll put you for a glass of whiskey, boy. I'll tell you what now. I'll tell you what now. No. No! God.
So yeah, that is my plan. Ish. The unit itself also needed some attention because it only had one light and one set of plugs, both towards the front. But that's a small obstacle that we can easily hurdle. So I got straight down to it, pulling the van out to drain all of its coolant. But I'd forgot how tall my van is and we hadn't lifted the door up completely. Oh, narrow escape that.
followed by another close call, the ladder. Pulling the pipe off the radiator did the trick, and amber was now drained, and this ease back inside would be the last time this engine moved the van. That night brought some pretty horrific storms, 70-mile-an-hour winds and rain that had caused havoc all over the county. And we got a phone call from Jeff telling us that the lane to the unit was completely blocked by a load of fallen trees, and could we pop up and lend an extra pair of hands. He also said to bring up one of his toys, an ex-army quad bike, and well, it'd be rude not to have a go, wouldn't it? The amount of trees down and damage was extensive, and the farmer and locals had been at it for a while clearing the track, but there was still plenty that needed shifting. Jeff was already up here on the forklift, and we had to clear this one last tree so we could get to a neighbouring building site that the storm had wreaked absolute havoc on and have a tidy up. With the road now clear, we raced upon ahead on the quad to go and start retrieving all the destroyed bits of blue wall insulation that the wind had took away from the building site and blown through 2 fields and even a pond. And on our way up there was a fair few more of these ancient trees that had been taken down too.
Oh, it's all snapped as well. Look how full it is. Onwards.
We'd got all the fragments back from the fields, and now it was time to pull the rest out of the pond. The owner of the site had brought her waders so she could go and get the ones that had strayed too far for us to grab. But with 6 of us on it, this escaped insulation was rounded up in no time. Now it was on to a slightly more daunting task. This ancient barn that was being converted and forced to go on hold because of councils and planning had the storm hit it at full force at its most vulnerable time.
I can't believe it's pulled the foundations out. It's like the worst possible time for it to happen, but it does. Yeah. Because we'd had the foundation and everything.
Yeah.
But
It pushed the steel frame over and actually ripped the foundations out of the ground. And the bit still standing was now dangerous, so it would have to be pulled down completely. There's quite a sad irony really that the planning and committees got involved and stopped this build, trying to make sure that the ancient barn was being restored properly. Now there's so much damage it might be lost completely. The wooden section that's last remaining wall has acted like a sail, has pushed the whole thing over.
you just pull it round to where that is, where we've got the blue strap. This is why we need one.
Yeah, we may have to save the pennies because one of these would be epic on the land. They're 4-wheel drive, mounted with a winch, and even come with their own transport trailer. Oh, I want one. Emma, who was also keen on the quad, wanted to have a punt at bringing the steels down. I was a little sceptical that the quad would bring it down, but she went absolutely ham and made mincemeat of it. Then I had a go, trying to bring the last upright to the ground, and I failed completely. There's a whole load more of that footage, but we're going to move on to where we were strapping down this elusive insulation so that it won't go walkies again. The site was now clear and the weather actually took a turn for the better, but it was sad to see this old barn that was trying to be saved ruined by bureaucracy, something we've also had an encounter with, and now the fate of it's uncertain, but fingers crossed something can be done with it.
Okay, that's the rad empty. Sound in here is going to be wank, but it's okay because we've got patches on hand. In fact, I'm just going to... I bought a new mic for the camera the other day, and I think in one of the stripped down videos of the van I ended up ripping off and throwing it away because it's just awful, and the mount lets the muff the mount lets the muff go into the lens, and it just looks a bit shit. Not having much luck with equipment at the minute. Okay, how about a try actually, see what the difference is between no mic. Professional YouTuber here, showing you all the bullshit. Testing testicle. Also, because there's only one light in here, I've had to rig up some LED spots, and I'm hoping the camera's not flickering everywhere. Ooh, the temperature's dropping too. Can you tell I'm stalling?
But that was it now. No more trees to move, barns to try and save, equipment to test and fail on. No more excuses. I just have to get stuck into it. That was the front end off. The engine was decommissioned last night, and now by removing the battery, this spells the end for the ambulance electrical system.
Merry Christmas.
Oh dear, look at the state of that. Backed up by where the bumper attaches. Hello. Yeah, that's pretty well boshed. That one was the ambulance service. This one was me. So it pushed all this back and actually bent and cracked both bars where the headlight attaches, and that all is part of the wing panel. The wing down here is pretty well shot, so I think that needs to be replaced. Unfortunately, the donor van, they were in worse condition than this. So I've just had a look online, and these are between 120 and 180 quid, which it's a cost I could do without, but yeah, that's not great. So I'll have that, I'll weld that up and get that welded back. I don't know, I might even be able to get it pulled back.
Or the other option is to lop it off completely, weld two big extensions into the chassis, whack a big girder of steel in there, and mount a dirty great winch to it. Place your votes in the comments now. So now the HVAC's out, soon to be followed by the wiper mech. Neither of these had to come out for the engine removal, but I have the much less worn versions from the donor van, and that makes it easier to remove and replace the bulkhead matting. The one side's been eaten by mice back at Amberleast, and the driver's side is just wearing away from age. Either way, it's gross, so that's getting replaced too. As for the engine itself, there's still the exhaust to get off, a load of sensors to remove, fuel pipes, water pipes, and God knows a load more pipes. Drain down and remove the power steering pipes. You get the picture. Then it's just removing the prop shaft and engine mounts, and this old lump is ready to come out. Probably in the same way that we removed the other Sprinter's engine, just, you know, in more of a civilised manner, because we just kind of ragged that one out of there. Then with the engine out of the way, we can get on to the unfathomable amount of electrics that are going on in here. Then there's some old aircon components that need to go, because, well, the van doesn't have aircon anymore. It did come with an old Urbaspashes system, but it was so old and ruined, there was just no redeeming it. And the last few remaining bits can go too, as they're just contributing towards the rust. I'm so looking forward to taking this wiring loom out in one big lump and throwing it away. It has been so highly tampered with and butchered to turn this van into an ambulance that a lot of the original system's unrecognisable. The starter motor isn't wired in the conventional way, the battery positives go through a load of modules first, there's at least 3 extra wiring looms in the engine bay alone. A lot of the ECU's been tampered with, the electrical side of the brake system's been tampered with, and if you look on the back of the ignition barrel, well, there's no Mercedes wiring on that. So after years of treating it like a delicate ecosystem and just leaving it be, no, now it's going. I'm going to give this engine bay a right tap up. It makes sense to do it. It's starting to go in little various areas like down there. Oh, hang on, let me dim the torch, shall we? There we go. Down there where the steering column is, it's starting to go a bit orange. Down there it's still yellow, down there it's just the worst paint job I've ever done. And up there it's still yellow. However, it's getting pretty late now. It is officially night time. I apologise if this whole thing has been wavy because it's down to these lights. Just this one then. Okay, you can f*** off. Okay, well, I'm probably going to be putting some music on over this, so I'm going to have Joe Rogan back on. Last night's strip down went really well, and I managed to remove a whole load of the crap that was just sat in the engine bay. Now the whole area looks double the size and everything's a lot more accessible. And whilst it was going, I started unclipping the loom and labelling up stuff, just for a point of reference on the loom transplant. When you put the two vans parts side by side, you can quite easily tell which one's from what. Ambers are used, to say the least. And today I've managed to grab an extra pair of helping hands. So this is my emotional support for the day, John. What are we on, mate?
So,
Hey up.
aircon's all released. Air straps off. That's the loom, needs to come off from inside.
Wonderful. I think you can disconnect the engine loom somewhere around here. Why? Of course you don't fit. Oh, okay. That didn't like that at all.
Killed it.
It just killed my tool. Full power and the wrong tool. Right, persuasion bar.
Just having a look at the aircon. Seems to be a pressed on pipe,
Right.
as you imagine. This pink one here.
This one. Is it free of stuff or is it?
It's the bottom one of this cable tie. No, it's attached to a T-piece here, which you disconnected.
Yeah.
And then it goes to the compressor.
Okay.
But just wondered if it went to anything.
I'm pretty sure I've cut them off. Let me try and find it. Where is it? Ah. Yeah. So just go ahead and cut through that, mate.
Yep.
Yeah, it's disconnected over here. That's the gearbox disconnected. Yeah, the wires on this have started to crack and go. About ready to die, that. Why are you attached to the engine? I don't want you on there.
Oh, you degassed it anyway, yeah.
What's that? Oh yeah, nothing will come out. When I first cut the pipes to the back, there's this thick black sludge come out. I was like, oh, that's probably why it's not working. Dee-dee.
Now we're talking.
Oh yeah. Going for a Pollard special.
Yeah. Oh, he's been giving you a bit of a shout out as well.
Oh, good?
Yeah, he's declared war.
Oh, this? What was that then?
Your little orange trailer light,
Yeah.
your by parallel,
Yeah.
he has seen your trailer
Has he
light,
raised me?
and he's raised you. He's got a flashing beacon on a tractor.
Oh, brilliant. Right, I'll have him. I cannot wait to get up there and see them guys.
Yeah, it's starting snowing up there.
Yeah.
Mental.
Oh my god! There we go. There's like a brace that holds the gearboxes on,
Yep.
and I really hope this one is universal because I didn't take it off the donor van.
How is it gone?
Yeah, went with it. There's only like 3 items left on the whole van of, like, you know, potential use,
Yeah.
and even now I'm regretting not taking them off.
Well, I'm quite impressed you've actually had the engine out of it and got the thing on.
Yeah.
That's easy.
Oh yes. That's the engine loom. free. Yeah, I mean, I'm just. Oh, yeah, one's the bloody siren. Yeah, I'll just cut my hair 2 secs. Off with you. Off with you. Okay. Oh, go. Oh, I can see daylight.
These things go flying everywhere.
Yeah.
So if I pull the loom over, and round here,
Yeah.
I've got a load of cable ties in there. We'll tie whatever pipes we can to the engine block.
Yeah, that's a good shout. Okay. What else? You're off, you're off. You're going there. Where are you going? Gearbox is free. It's really fancy. It's always easier and often just better when there's 2 people on a job like this. You've got 2 pairs of hands on each job and 2 brains to bounce ideas off. Me and John worked on through as day turned into night, and we managed to get 3 times the amount of stuff that I'd have managed to do on my own. Most of the stuff now is off. John's done an amazing job of getting the loom disconnected and fuel pipes off. Last of the aircon shit. We've just got to disconnect the flexi on the exhaust, 2 engine mount bolts, and that is the engine off or loose. As for interior, well, yeah, still all this to deal with. We did record the interior strip down, but that'll be in the next video just to help things flow a little better. But yeah, all the wiring you see needs to go, as well as the entire dash.
Oh yeah, I think so.
No,
I've got another, I don't know, 5 reams of that. Really, honestly, the weight of cable on this van is insane. I'm sorry, John, I appear to have your arse again. Oh dear.
John's ass.
You look genuinely concerned.
Leave my ass out of this.
I'll start charging.
Yeah.
Are we recording audio as well?
This section, yeah. A lot of it is just time.
So really, if I say 5,
You've just caused me a lot of beeping out. What? But they just joined 2 cables. Yeah, now. Don't you bastard. The starter battery, to be honest, all this extra wiring. Oh yeah, there you are.
Good. There's a. Yeah. Oh. My God.
Engine belt 1. I can't get to it. Why can't I get to it now? I've got to the other one. Oh, I did. I got rid of the bloody exhaust. Shit. Ow.
Okay, take 2.
Ah, see? Yeah. Totally the first time we did that.
Bosh, cider?
Yeah, I think so.
How are you feeling for food?
Officially now cider o'clock and Emma on her way with 2 pizzas. Me and John sat down for the first time today to chill out and admire our graft. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. There's a lot more rust going on here. And in much. Just. Oh. So yeah, that's going to need some more. So yeah, as well as wang, we're going to need this weird little panel here. It looks like, I don't think it's got to the wheel arch just yet. Although that's looking very. Oh. Oh. Oh no.
bollocks. I could just really do with my van to stop disintegrating, to be honest. That would be lovely. Now, what have I done?
I cannot find that panel anywhere, mainly because I don't know what it's called. But I've been on a load of the panel sites. There's a really good company in Poland for Sprinter parts, and I can't find it on their site. And it's going to be sod's law, isn't it? That the donor van, although rotten as a pear, that panel on that side may have just survived. I'm going to go and have a look at some footage. I really hope it's rotten, because if it's good and I've scrapped it now, I'm going to be fuming. Right then, let's have a little look round here. What have we got? Down here, main. There's the other Sprinter. There it is. Right. Let's have a look. Want it towards the end where there's no bumper. Oh, wonderful. The beard's in the way. Oh, I guess this one. Towards the end, I think. Yeah, here we go. Can't really see it that well. It looks good though. I need to be sure for sure. Yeah, it's good. Shit! Sod's law, I get rid of it, and I need a panel off it. I wonder if it's a cube yet, or if I could go and cut it off. They'd probably charge me as much as they gave me in scrap for that part back. Bastards. They didn't give me a lot, man. I mean, I know it was a stripped van, but there was a lot of scrap metal went inside as well. And yeah, when they gave me my price, I was like, oh. Well, that's enough kicks in the balls for today. Today was the day. We were pulling out my engine and saying farewell, along with the piece of shit gearbox that's strapped to it. We've already had some practice on this, but this time was different. This time it's my van, and I was nervous. But there was nothing to get worked up about. It went as smooth as silk. Mostly thanks to the two gents here that helped. It was a bittersweet goodbye. It was this engine that's taken me on multiple trips of a lifetime. But then you've got the little turd that hangs off the back of it, and that can just f*** off. Now with the engine out of the way, it was down to possibly the job I've been dreading most. Bringing this van back to a shell for the first time since it left the factory 18 odd years ago. Giving it a full clean out, tart up, reconfigure and rebuild from the ground up. Wish me luck.
I'm going to say that's from the land in Portugal.